Welcome back to YouTube. It's my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. I'm AspieAnswersAll, and right now I'm just trying to finish up what I have to finish up. Hopefully, even though I'm giving myself a deadline for hopefully after 2 weeks everything will be completed, but it can't always be guaranteed and promised for you guys. But let me know if there's anything that I may have missed, because I can gladly just return back to any of these topics that you feel it was of importance to you or someone else that is in the mix of what I'm sharing with you all today of the how-to guides versus just basically Asperger's syndrome and dyslexia and ADHD and series. So without further ado, guys, if you're new to my channel, I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness versus basically sharing my life story of Asperger's syndrome, because everybody with Asperger's syndrome is different in the way of living. So hopefully you'll get to know me in the mass of these diagnoses as well as a person, regardless, take it or leave it, as well as maybe some of these tips and advice that I have basically learnt based on my experiences and life training of Youthline and everything else. Everything will come into play. And all further ado, also basically I do like a heads up for mentoring and advocating for you all of everyday situations that you may be struggling with, just to let you know that you're not alone with these pills of wisdom, knowledge and experience, along with tips and advice, and also just hopefully some gentle words of encouragement in a loving way to you all. So without further ado, guys, basically at this point of time I'm doing the how-to, obviously, and this one's how to teach an autistic child. As I said, it's broken down into 3 parts, which is basically what I'm doing. The first part was obviously using strategies to help with communication issues, and this second part obviously is using strategies to help with socialization issues. So let's begin this, shall we? Okay, or shall we say social and behavioural issues. Bear with me, my humbles. Okay, number 1, as we know that obviously with autistics they may have special interests, so therefore use these special interests to facilitate their learning. What I mean here, many autistic children fixate on their specialised interests, be it whatever it may be. They may be interested in cars, maybe they're interested in animals, maybe they're interested in music, science, the realm, the list goes on. This passion can be used as an advantage while you're teaching them, however. A classic example here, like I said before, if a child loves their cars, use toy cars to teach geography on a map by driving the car to different states of the world. Number 2, teach autistic children through peer modelling. What I mean here, many autistic children have difficulties being attuned to emotion, motivations and other social cues and behaviours that are instinctive among autistic, or as I call you guys, neurotypical children. However, they do care about feelings. Just bear in mind, as I said before, many people make that mistake. Just because we're autistic, we aren't empathetic. But you've got to realise that for us autistics, we may feel deeply more than you guys realise. But don't always understand why people feel how they do. Okay? Explicitly and clearly explaining social nuances can be helpful to children. Many autistic children are capable of learning how to interact appropriately in the right formal manner, though, however. They may simply need to just be told certain techniques explicitly instead of picking them up only through observation, even though some autistic may be able to observe and around their surroundings. And as I said before, so many times before about me, I observe my surroundings, watching people, and maybe just, as I said, the word shape-shifting, just trying to engage with people at a certain level, hopefully that people can understand me and whatnot, regardless of my social surroundings, that I hopefully will be able to pick up the cues and the body language and everything else while I'm shape-shifting into that, setting. Be it if I see someone laughing in a group and all that, I'll probably think, now is this the right appropriate manners to do so, It's all about collecting all that information, process it back into my mindset, as I said before, and then also it's like a little film strip inside my little head, as well as if I'm writing down a script so that I know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate into certain parts of certain days of what I'm doing, regardless what it may be. Anyway, very young children in preschool and kindergarten can learn simple tasks like colour discrimination, letter discrimination, or answering yes or no to simple questions by observing their neurotypical peers engaging in these tasks with them. During centres or group work, to consider pairing an autistic child who struggles in a certain area with a neurotypical child who excels in that area. For instance, if an autistic student struggles with colour discrimination, pair that child with a neurotypical child who excels in colour discrimination. By observing a peer perform the task correctly, an autistic child can learn to mimic the targeted behaviour. Neurotypical children, however, who are first grade through high school and who exhibit developmentally appropriate social skills can be trained to serve as peer models for their autistic classmates, modelling social skills for interaction such as eye contact, pleasant greetings, sharing ideas, recommending changes nicely, and talking in a pleasant voice, among other things. Number 3. Read stories to show proper behaviour in different situations. What I mean here, for a classic example for you guys to understand, is read a story about a child who is sad and point out a frown or tears as an example of sadness to help an autistic child to learn how to pick up an emotion. The child can then learn by memorization. Some autistic children benefit from a technique known as social stories. Very brief narratives that describe social situations. These stories help them providing behaviours to model in various situations. Number 4, last but not least, which is more important, create a predictable schedule. Many autistic children can thrive on a predictable schedule. So giving them the security to know what is expected each day is crucial and beneficial. Place a clearly visible analog clock on the wall and tape images that represent the day's activities and the times they may occur. This again may refer to as if you guys do a chart for us, maybe. As I said, it may work that way as well. Refer to this clock while mentioning the time that activities are to be taken place. If the child has difficulty reading analog clocks, as a lot of autistic children do, however, invest in a digital clock that is easily visible. Picture schedules, as I said, are usually really useful. Well, this ends a really short and brief one about, how to teach an autistic child part 2 using strategies to help with social and behavioural issues. Give me the like for thumbs up, comment below basically. Feel free to share these videos around to family and friends. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Feel free to private message me on AspieAnswersAll or even direct message me on YouTube. Feel free to also follow me on Twitter and Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. Until next time, do what you love what you do. Thanks for your support so far. Until next time, I'll see you all again soon.